Okay, so first we're going to go over your corrective exercises. There's 6 corrective exercises that you're going to do, and basically these can be done alone on individual days, or ideally also you want to do these as a warm-up before you go into your weights. So these are just going to help us develop our core strength, develop that isometric strength, strengthen those stabilizers, help keep us injury-free, warm us up for our workout, make us stronger in our lifts. So, first exercise that you're going to do is the glute bridge. I've grabbed some bands. First I'll show you what the glute bridge is, and then want to show you, we want to be able to add that band to give us some resistance. So I've got 2 different bands here. I've got one that's just a nice long band that I can actually take and use and fold in half if you have something like that. Or if you just have a resistance band that has this handle, we can use that as well by simply just lacing that through, and now we put that around our legs and give it some tension, and that will work as well. So those are our 2 band options. So first, to get in that glute bridge position, what we want to do is get our heels as close to our glutes as possible, shoulder width apart. We want our shins to be vertical, okay, as close to our squat position as possible. So we're going to go ahead and lay down, raise and use our glutes to come up off the floor, and then push our knees out. So you can see my shin's pretty vertical right here. My body should be in a nice straight line. If you're arching with your back, as you start to put your back, you're cheating from your lumbar. So make sure that's relaxed. It's all right here in our glutes. So this is the glute bridge position, but we're going to make it a little more challenging. Add a band. I'll go ahead and show you with the handle variation. So I'm going to go ahead and loop that around my legs, and then just kind of pull with this other band on this other side to keep that tight. So I'm going to come up into that and pull to keep that tight, so I'm getting a little bit of resistance into this bridge now. Okay, so that's the glute bridge. As soon as we're done with that, we're immediately going to go into a plank. So in this plank, we're going to get in our push-up position. Hands are going to be centered underneath my chest, about shoulder width apart, right? I'm going to get my feet back and come up onto my toes. I'm going to keep my feet pretty close, okay? From there, I want to keep my shoulders active. So you can see kind of up here through the middle of my back, I'm not going to let my shoulders just sink. I'm going to kind of push and cat back up into that. Squeeze my glutes and tuck my tail into our perfect plank position. When you do that, your whole body should be in a nice straight line. So your butt shouldn't be up in the air, shouldn't be arching your back. If you have questions about whether or not you're doing it right, do it in front of a mirror so you can see your form. Okay, so as soon as we're done with that, we're going to roll over into what I call a Superman. So now we're going to go face down. Basically what we're going to do, get our arms out in front of us, legs back behind us. We're going to squeeze our glutes and try to raise that chest up off the floor as high as we can. So we're just holding that position. Everything should be nice and tight here. So I'm tightening up through my lats, squeezing my glutes, pointing my toes. Right there, Superman position. Next exercise that we're going into is the wall sit. Now again, you can do this with a band to get a little bit more out of it. So on this wall sit, I want to try to get about 90 degrees. My feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. Again, that same position as if we were going to go down into a squat. So I'm going to get my feet set. I want to make sure that I'm not so far back that I'm leaning against the wall on this. I'm going to set my hips back, but really, if that wall weren't there, I should be able to keep my balance. So this is our general wall sit, stance, and format right here. About 90 degrees, my chest is up, so I'm not falling forward. I'm going to keep my hands up off of my thighs. Okay, keep everything nice and tight. To make this a little bit more effective and kind of have to use our glutes a little bit more, we're going to go ahead and use that band to bring that up around our legs, get that just about around our knees, and then same exact thing, we can pull and add some tension there, get down into that squat. Okay, and now I'm having to draw on and work on my glutes. I want to work on trying to stay balanced and stay low into that wall squat. So as soon as we're done with those, we're going to go into a side plank, working on holding this position, working our glutes, getting strong in that position. So with this side plank, we're actually going to rotate to our side, bend our arms so it's at a 90-degree angle and get that directly underneath our shoulder. We're going to stack our feet, one on top of the other, and we're going to come straight up. So again, body should be in a nice straight line. If you find yourself rotating your hips at all, a little secret that I like to do, I just raise my hand straight up and turn my head and look at my thumb to make sure everything stays nice and square. So we're gonna hold that on one side, go ahead and flip over and do it on the other side. Last exercise that we have for our corrective exercises is what's called a fire hydrant. Kind of like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. That's where it gets its name from. So we're gonna get on all fours. I'm gonna get my hands again positioned directly underneath my shoulder, okay? I wanna squeeze and tighten up my glutes, bring my ribs to my hips. So this is nice and tight. You should not have any arch in your low back. Everything should be nice and flat and tight. From there, we're gonna bring that leg directly out to the side and back in. Now you can see I'm not getting it super high. In order to get it super high, what happens is you have to kind of relax your abs and really turn and rotate. And right now I want you to work on keeping your abs tight as you're able to bring that out to the side. So notice when I do that, okay, my toes are pointed up to my shin. When I bring this up, my knees and my feet stay at the same level, so I'm not raising and bringing my foot up above my knee, okay? All balanced, 90 degrees out to the side, and then go ahead and switch sides. And that's your corrective exercises.